Hello, gamer family, and welcome back to the Studio Backlot Podcast. I always forget. Anyways, we have another guest star here today. We got Seth.
Hello.
Good thing this is not Star Trek because he's wearing a red shirt, and you know what happens to the red shirts in Star Trek? They die first. See, I get to make that joke all the time because for work I have to wear a red shirt, so. Yeah. Anyways, Minecraft.
Yeah, so I already told Josh this, but I found a stronghold. It was my first stronghold, and I actually had enough Eyes of Ender.
Wait, you actually were prepared with the Eyes of Ender? Oh, I guess you need Eyes of Ender to find one, huh? I remember back in the old realm, for some reason, there was just hundreds of Eyes of Ender just on the stretch of a couple of chunks, just floating in the water. I was like, what? Why?
Huh?
So, like, I got, like, a ton of free Eyes of Ender, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll take them, yeah, I will. I take that. And I was like, why? Why are they here?
Enderman just gave them to you.
I don't know. But they were already made into Eyes of Ender too, so I imagine someone was trying to find a stronghold before me, and there was some kind of like glitch multiplayer-wise, and just like there was like one every like block for like a couple hundred blocks. It's like, what the hell? What?
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I remember posting it on the Discord. Let's see if I can actually have more. I can find more information. But it was definitely like one of those things. I don't think you're supposed to do that game. And like it's interesting just to think like Minecraft's one of those things that even from like recording to upload on this episode, there's probably gonna be a ton of more stuff in Minecraft. So it's just like, huh, interesting. So it's really wonder like what are they gonna add since like obviously like right now like they just like added the armadillo when we're recording. It's pretty new. That's really all I know about the next update is really the armadillo and like the trial things because like I've
also heard that they have decided to add the crab.
Wait, so
I don't believe that for a heartbeat. They're not gonna add multiple of the mob votes. Mojang just does not care enough to add all the mobs, Seth, or even multiple of them. So yeah.
Well, we'll see when the update comes out.
Yeah, we will see. We're still waiting on like the biomes that like they said, oh yeah, don't worry, even the loser biomes will get updated. Like what? We're approaching like a decade. Oh, we're getting close to like we're getting close to like half a decade from the first one, and we've still like the first one was desert, taiga, and savanna, where we've only gotten one of those. Like yeah, we got the camels, but camels I don't think were part of the. Were camels a part of the desert one? I don't remember, but we definitely didn't get the other stuff from the desert update. And even then, the taiga update was so crappy and non-existent, essentially. Like, taigas before and after that biome vote are like the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad like
Camels
mountains got the love they deserved. And then the swamps is an interesting one. Is the mangrove swamps are awesome.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a swamp update. It was a new biome instead. So even that's technically like. That's not technically what we voted on, but I'll accept it because it's still cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
Me and Josh did a whole Minecraft update tier list back in the day. And I don't know. 1.13 was a really good update. That was a good update. It added a lot. And I don't know if it's a blend of nostalgia or just the fact that it just added so much, but 1.7 is still up there as one of the best updates. But it just added so much content. It like doubled the biome count. Maybe not doubled, but it added a lot. And it just doesn't feel like the modern updates go far enough. They have so many cool ideas, but they don't go far enough. Like, the Nether update was such an amazing start 4 biomes is not enough to make the Nether more interesting. 3 new mobs is not enough to make the Nether more interesting. If you want the Nether to be anywhere as interesting as the overworld, you need double-digit biomes. You need still way more mobs, hostile and peaceful mobs. It's just, the Nether update was a great start, but it's not even close. It just makes it makes the Nether about as interesting as released version overworld, where previously the Nether was as interesting as alpha overworld. So like, it's definitely an improvement, but it's not even close to enough. It's not even close to enough. The Nether still needs way more to make it anywhere comparably interesting-wise to the overworld, I feel. Village of Hellage update, I think, was overall really good, but it feels like too much of a hassle to keep villagers alive now. It feels like you have to, like, lock them up, jail them just to keep them alive, which is really my only complaint with that update. Otherwise, I think it's really good. Cave update, I just don't think it went far enough. The mountains part of it, they delivered hardcore. But the cave part, come on. One new ore, I get it. You don't want to, like, completely change, like, the progression. Wood, stone, iron, diamond, nether. Okay, cool. But not every single ore has to be a part of that cycle. You can still add other things. We have how many village biomes? How many different biomes are villages in? I don't know. A lot. Why do they all have to use emeralds?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, why can't a village be in a cave? I was like, whoa.
That too! That too! That too! Why can't there be more? First of all, there's not enough structures underground between 1.8, 17, 18, and 19. Essentially, 2 updates that were fully focused on caves. Then 1 update that was half focused on cave. They added 1 new structure. 1 new structure underground. 1 new structure. And it's empty and boring.
Wait, are you talking about the,
Ancient City.
What's it? Yeah.
It's empty and boring. There's no reason to go down there. The loot's not good enough. The risk versus reward scale is off. The risk is way too high for the reward. There's not a good enough reward to have to potentially deal with the warden. It's not worth it. It's boring and empty. And again,
but what if it's a skill problem? What if it's just a skill issue?
It's not. You just gotta be really quiet. It's not terribly hard.
So you just go down with wool, and they can get good stuff from nothing.
But it's not that good of stuff. The Bastions have infinitely better rewards for, I'd say, around the same amount of risk. Because obviously, the Ancient City's the only real risk is the Warden. If you're careful, you're not gonna summon, but if you summon him, you may be in trouble. The Bastions obviously have a ton of enemies, so, but they're also weaker enemies that aren't gonna, like, absolutely demolish you. I'd put their risks pretty equal, but the Bastion actually has good loot. Ancient City doesn't.
Do they make other mobs spawn in the Ancient Cities because of the low light level?
I feel like every time I've checked out an Ancient City, there's been no mobs. I was
gonna say, if they had hostile mobs spawn, and like they could accidentally summon the Warden.
I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I feel like regular mobs can't spawn because of that reason, actually.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare. It would just defeat the point of the gimmick.
That would make the risk even higher and the rewards even worse for the risk versus reward. But like, there's so much they could have done, like more structures. It sounds like the trial chambers are an underground structure. That's good. That's good. That means there's at least another structure. But they didn't overhaul strongholds at all. Strongholds have not been changed since beta 1.8. Sorry, beta 1.9. Yeah. Mine shafts only had the change of adding proper wood beams. The only change they've had since beta 1.8. Strongholds haven't been changed since, like, alpha.
I feel like if they do change strongholds, they need to do that for an end update. Which the end needs to be updated, because I understand that while the end is supposed to be, like, empty, it's supposed to be like an empty void, I think I don't think it should be as empty as it is in game.
See, I actually don't have an issue with the end being empty if they add another dimension instead. Why can there only be 2 dimensions? I think having the end being empty void only works if there's other interesting dimensions on top of that. The fact that we only have the nether, overworld, and end makes the end look worse. Where if you had more dimensions, then it would feel less like another dimension and more like just a part of the game. Because we only have 3 dimensions, which means that each dimension, like, should have a lot, but it doesn't. And you know, Strongholds I don't think Strongholds really need an end update to be better. Strongholds don't need to be changed that much. None of these need to be changed that much, but those are the only, besides the trial chambers, which aren't even out yet as of this, those are the only 3 structures that you really find underground, other than, I guess, amethysts count, I guess, technically. But those are also really boring. So there's really only 3 proper cave structures, and they're all like over a decade old.
I don't know if I fossils or amethyst geodes as structures.
I forgot about fossils. I've never found a fossil. They must be rare. They're mostly
really
in the
rare.
desert too, I believe. And I don't like being in deserts. You know, and only adding copper, and the problem with copper is, like, I get it, they don't want to disrupt the chain, but it's also kind of boring. It's mostly a building block, which would be okay if it wasn't the only ore added. The fact that it was the only ore added makes the fact that it's exclusively a building block even more like, really, to me. Is you can add so much more gems that can be used in different villages. Like, for the desert villages, you could use ruby. For the cold villages, you could use sapphire. For for like plains villages, emeralds. Like, you could use all these different gems for different villages, and then you can have like currency exchanges in the village so that you're not completely screwed over. So like, oh, you want to trade your sapphires for emeralds? Yeah, sure. Go to the currency exchange villager. So that even as a new villager type, where you can have a bunch of new cool trades that can be like trading one region's item for another region's item. Like, I think that could be really cool. Like, maybe you trade an oak sapling for a acacia sapling. That could be another example of a trade you'd have there. And I think that'd be really cool to have these, like, different region trade villagers. But no. And another thing you could do is, why does it have to be exclusively stone, iron, diamond? You can add other armor minerals without completely changing that. You can add ores that are pretty much equivalent. First of all, why not have andesite or granite pickaxes and just have them be like the same as stone? Or maybe tweak one stat. Maybe like andesite mines slightly faster than stone but has slightly worse durability. And then granite, that's the other way around. Slightly more durability but slightly slower. You can do a bunch of stuff like that that don't completely disrupt everything while still adding more. Because the problem is, caves still feel barren. Yeah, they're big and open now, but that makes it more annoying to find stuff because there's still not a lot to find. The amount of stuff to find has not changed, but the way you find it has, but it's not that much more interesting, is the problem. Plus, underground villages would be cool. Josh is right.
Yeah, Josh, to go along with that, in real life, there are actually, like, old, ancient cliff dwellings that have, like, villages inside of them.
We need ravine villages. We need cave and ravine villages. Ravine villages would be the coolest thing ever. Although I imagine from, like, a programming perspective, that is literally a worst nightmare to even think about trying to code. So I can definitely understand that one not being there, because that seems like a logistic nightmare.
Yeah.
From what I understand of how it works, it's I believe like they program in a gash, like a cutting through it, like an object that cuts through the ground, and then they remove that, or they keep it in. I don't know. They keep it as a ravine type, So having something that overlaps it might be weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think it'd be really hard, but if they figure that out, that would be really cool. But cave villages shouldn't be that hard, though, because those could be cool. Maybe even have a new mob. They don't have to be villagers. They could be another peaceful underground mob. I think that could be cool. And I feel like we still should get proper nether villages. Again, it doesn't have to be like villagers, but like a fully peaceful type village would be nice. Because I see the Bastions less of a village equivalent and more of a villager outpost or woodland mansion equivalent. And not a village, because you wouldn't count a woodland mansion as a village equivalent. No, you would count it as you'd consider it a dungeon equivalent, which is what the Bastion is. So I still feel like we need a village in the Nether.
Yeah.
And I just feel like I just think they're trying to improve when they're trying to improve features, it feels like, instead of adding features. I'd much rather them stop like all the biome updates, all the dimension updates, and add more content. Like, obviously, I want more stuff in the Nether. I want more stuff in the end. But if I had to choose between those or a new dimension, I'd pick a new dimension any day. Any day. If I had to choose between updating the Savannah biome or a new biome, I'd pick a new biome any day. I'd pick new content over revamped content right now. As they've spent the past half decade revamping, I think it's time to stop doing that for a bit and add. You want new cave structures? Completely new, not tied to cave cliff at all. Completely new. You want a new nether biome, even though the nether update was like 5 years ago? Who cares if it was 5 years ago? New nether biome! And that's the kind of stuff I want. I want them just to focus on new stuff. And I don't even need update things. I just, like an update where they just add a bunch of random structures to random parts of the game. That would be awesome. But that's not going to happen, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's they're not gonna do DLC. They update for free. All you have to do is just buy the game once, and then they keep updating it. So they don't have incentive to do crazy big updates like that.
But the problem is, and that's definitely true, but the problem is they used to do crazy big updates. When they were a smaller dev team, they used to do big updates. Big updates used to feel like this ginormous event. And the thing is, we got them at the same rate we get them today. So, I think that's a part of where my displeasure comes from. Is obviously, yeah, they don't owe us these giant updates. But 1.7 was a giant update. 1.3 was a giant update. 1.4 was a giant update. Those are big updates. And they may not look as big by a lot of today. And 1.13 was a big update. But, like, Nether update was really cool, but it was only 4 biomes. It was 4 biomes and, like, 3 mobs and 1 structure. That's... Honestly, that's not bad. It's just... If it was on the... I feel like that's one that if it was on the overworld, I'd look at it a lot more positively. I think the problem that's the Nether, and the Nether's still not interesting, is why that one I look bad upon. If that was an overworld update, I think actually I'd like it more. Because 4 overworld biomes is a lot cooler than 4 Nether biomes, just because the Nether needs more biomes. Where the overworld has a good amount of biomes, so 4 biomes would be like, whoa, that's a lot, that's cool. Where the Nether's like, oh, that's cool. But there's still only 5 biomes total in the Nether. And I think that's also part of it. Although Caves and Cliffs is to me a giant disappointment. It took like, what, 3 years, and I still feel like we didn't get, and I feel like it just didn't add enough. Other than mountains. Mountains are so cool. Mountains are easily the coolest biome in the game. Easily. But the caves are worse. I'd say the caves are worse than they used to be, honestly.
Yeah.
Because when I envisioned a cave update, I not only envisioned cooler caves, but new stuff to find in those caves.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't that much new stuff to find in only 2 biomes. Even like the 5 bajillion mods of cave updates, they always at least had an ice cave. Like,
yeah.
Come on,
True.
Ice Cave is, like, the bare minimum. Like, Lush and Dripstone are both so cool. But that's all? Like, obviously, this sounds a little ungrateful, but, like...
Yeah,
you gotta keep in mind that Cave Update was delayed, like, 5 times as well. Like, there's a reason why I have a bone to pick with the Cave Updates. Plural. Because they delayed it so many times that it still feels like they didn't give us... It feels like the only stuff they gave us was all the stuff that was already shown at that Minecon. They, like, didn't show us anything that wasn't at that Minecon for the most part. And it's like, come on. You take 3 years... And you only give us the bare minimum of what you showed? At least the Nether update had a surprise biome and netherite. And, what are they called? The things that walk in the lava? I can't remember. Striders. Like, that update had a bunch of surprises still. But the cave update didn't. The cave update had, like, pretty much nothing.
Only nether mobs that I can tolerate.
Oh, and the Bastions. The Bastions were also surprised that weren't at the Minecon. That's enough. See, I could talk for ages on why Caves and Cliffs was so disappointing. Because they showed so much of that Minecon. Oh, actually, it's 2 updates now. Oh, sorry, Ancient Cities and Archaeology aren't coming yet. You have to wait till the next update for the Deep Dark. Then you have to wait another update for Archaeology. Like,
yeah.
You had working builds of them at Minecon.
Well,
at least of Archaeology. The Ancient Cities definitely makes more sense to delay, since it's a giant structure. But why did Archaeology get delayed? They had a working build of it!
my best guess is that it heavily messed with something else, and they're trying to figure out how to stop that.
I guess, but... It bummed... I'm assuming all of, like, the caves and mountain structures in Minecon were not actually generated. I have a feeling that they weren't actually naturally generated, which is why that part took a while. I also just would have rather them, instead of splitting the update into multiple parts, just take it really long, take their time and release one giant update. I think that also rubbed me the wrong way. I would have rather wait longer for 1.17, but it be a complete update. Because 1.
That was probably an upper management.
Yeah, and that was probably not the dev team, but I still think it was a wrong call. I feel like it also hurt both updates. Because it made 1.17 feel incomplete, then it feel like it made 1.18 feel like, oh, cool, this is what we should have had. Like, I feel like it hurt both updates by doing that, personally. Like, if I look, because I look at Cave, when I look at Caves and Cliff, I look at 1.17 and 18 together. Because that's how it should have been, and that's how it was supposed to be. And I think you're right. I definitely think that was not the dev team's idea. I definitely don't, because it was a stupid idea.
What were those little rooms that they had shown when they first, like, teased the Warden? The tiny little rooms in the Deep Dark Cave?
That was just a regular, that's just a cave. That was just a cave. That wasn't.
Well, they had a little room with it.
No.
It was like a
I know what you're talking about. I think that was just a part of an ancient city, yeah. I don't think they fully knew what they were doing for the ancient city yet. So I think another thing is, something that they have thankfully learned since, is they showed too much. They weren't prepared to show all that. And while that definitely made later Minecons feel a little bit more disappointing, at least instead of feeling like it under-delivered, they've over-delivered. Because there's been more stuff that wasn't shown in the Minecons. Because again, Cave and Cliffs, there was pretty much nothing that wasn't shown. That was extremely disappointing. There were no surprises, especially because 1.16 had a bunch of surprises. And thankfully, since they dialed back on what they're showing, there's more surprises of the updates of like, oh, that's cool. So while there's definitely a little disappointment of the most recent Minecons, I overall, in retrospect, I like them more because it doesn't feel like they're over-promising. I haven't watched the most recent Minecons and been like, oh, they're gonna have to split this update into 3 parts. No. It feels like, oh, that feels like a bunch of stuff we're gonna get in the early snapshots, and then we're gonna get a couple of other surprises, and that'll be cool. Well, you have Cave and Cliff where it took 3 years, where it took like 4 years to get everything. for 4 different updates.
I feel like with the Wild update, I think that's probably like Out of the newest updates, I think that's the most forgettable one.
How much time did it take to develop, though? How long did it take to develop? Because if I remember correctly, the development time between 1.18 and 1.20 is the same length between 1.16 and 1.17, which makes it okay to me. But my memory could be wrong. But I want to say the Wild update took half the amount of time. And if that is true, that's okay. We can have smaller updates that take less time, surrounded by bigger updates that take more time. That would be actually ideal, in my opinion. I'd love the way you have like the big team working on a huge update, then you have a smaller team that's like, oh, here's a couple of structures and a couple of mobs, here you go. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And I think another part of the reason why my updates are so small is because they keep trying to make these spin-off games that nobody cares about. Because, like, Minecraft Dungeons is a very high-quality game. I played it. It's a great game. But nobody talks about it anymore. Because it wasn't really what people wanted. But it's a great game. It's a fantastic game. And I haven't played Legends, but I never hear anything about Legends anymore, but I imagine it's a very high-quality game. Part of me is like, what if all that time was spent on the updates instead?
Yeah.
I definitely respect Mojang trying to do other games, but if they do other games, I'd like it to not be Minecraft focused. But if it's just a Minecraft spin-off game, my initial thought is, oh, I wish this development went into Minecraft instead. Where if they did like some random, like completely different game, I'd be like, oh, that's really cool. I don't know. Minecraft's obviously still a great game. It's still a great game. The updates are obviously still good. They don't live up to, I feel like, the early updates. How much of that is me blinded by nostalgia? Probably a bit. But also, I don't think all of it is. I think there's definitely a little bit of nostalgia blinding, but I do not think it's entirely that. Oh, and the other thing is, modders are able to do in like a week what Mojang takes like ages to do. I think that's also a little bit of like a, really? Like, obviously, I know there's a little
unfair to say.
I know there's obviously more that they need to do behind the scenes. Like, in terms of mobs, they can't just add a mob. They can't just add a mob. It's a multi-billion-dollar game. It's one of the best-selling games of all time. There's a lot more things that have to go into it marketing-wise, but at least development-wise, I feel like a lot of Minecraft's modern issues aren't even just the developing times. It's just all the marketing stuff that's really just in the way. Because, like, the mob vote mobs, they can add modders have done every mob in like 3 days. So obviously, that's not the issue in terms of how long it takes to get mobs in the core game. Obviously, coding's not the issue. If one person can do it in 3 days, obviously a giant team can do it faster. So there's something else behind the scenes that we probably don't know, about, that is hurting the game, in my opinion. Because this is the biggest Minecraft dev team has ever been. So, there's definitely something else out of their control that I feel like is really hurting it. Like Josh mentioned himself, splitting the Caves to Cliff update was probably not their fault. It was somewhat higher up or someone else that said, you're going to do this, that's causing issues. So, there's also that, I feel. There's some kind of studio interference.
Yeah, I agree with the mob thing. Because I think that one's pretty easy to code in, but like adding in structures, like they have a reputation to make it polished.
I'm talking about mobs here. I'm talking about mobs here. Structures are a completely different beast.
And mobs also can cause problems, but I don't think more than a 3-day. I feel like a few weeks would be fine.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Again, modders are built different. They aren't paid to do it. They're very, very, very passionate. Like, I love Penguin. I'm coding in Penguin. Or they're very much fueled by anger towards Minecraft. Obviously, I'm just using that as an example, like, they can do it really, really fast. So I do think that, like, obviously, Mojang wants things to be more polished than mods. These mods are obviously a lot more buggy. So Mojang obviously wants them to be more polished. But they're big, they're more than one person, so there's definitely some obstacle that's stopping them from doing stuff. There's definitely some obstacle that I feel like is just getting in the way of their creativity and getting more stuff in the game. Because obviously, if one person can do it in like a week, a team can do it faster, or at least a team can do it in like a couple of weeks for sure. But something there, higher ups, marketing, something is in the way that used to not be. It's like the whole Minecraft's so much bigger now than it used to be, so there's a lot more behind the scenes like politics that are getting in the way of my good updates. So I need to make it clear, I do not hate the developers for Minecraft. There's something else behind the scenes that I'm mad at. Because obviously, if a modder can do it, they can do it better. Because one person versus a giant team. That's just how, just makes sense. So, I don't know exactly, I don't know. I just hope that all gets figured out. I don't know if it's Microsoft, I don't know if it's like Mojang itself. Again, marketing may have an issue with it, at least in terms of mobs. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, I just do hope that either they figure it out or they embrace more smaller updates. And I can say the same exact thing for Geometry Dash. 2.2 is awesome, but why did it take 7 years? I'd much rather way smaller updates on a more continual pace. If you're gonna have, because obviously, like, if you have this game that you just buy, then you own, you don't have to pay for anything else, I would rather smaller, more constant updates. As I feel like, obviously, you're not gonna lose the hardcore audience. Like Geometry Dash, I'm not a hardcore player, I'm a casual player. Geometry Dash essentially died for 5 years for me, because I just did not care. I feel like, well, obviously hardcore audience doesn't care either way, but it's definitely a casual audience needs updates.
Didn't you just explain why you explained why the cave update was chopped into so many bits?
Yeah, I kind of did.
you just went through the idea of marketers, like, oh yeah, you do that.
You know what? I think the reason why I didn't even see that is because I'm a casual Geometry Dash, but at least at the time I would consider myself hardcore into Minecraft. So I guess that's why I didn't see it that way. Because you were right. It's a casual versus hardcore mindset. Because if I look at it more in a casual view, that was a good idea. Although I don't think it was necessarily split right. I almost feel like they should have chosen different things to be in both updates then. Maybe only had like the mountains in the first one, then all the cave stuff in the second, or the other way around. But no, you're kind of right. When you look at it that way, the split was a good idea. But they should have.
They didn't want Minecraft to be dead for people.
They should have split the caves and cliffs update to the cliff update and the cave update. I think that would have been a better split, though. Because then it wouldn't feel like either update's incomplete. Because my big issue with that split is it feels incomplete. But if you split it that way, then you have two complete ideas. The mountains update and then the caves update. And I don't know. That's like 5 years ago at this point. All I hope in the future is more smaller updates. Or really, 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 really big updates. Like, I feel like 1.19, what? 8 months? That's fine. That's perfect. 1.19 is actually one of my favorite updates in recent memory. It didn't add a ton, but what it did add was really good. And it didn't take that long. At least I don't think it did. If it took as long as a cave update, then my opinions immediately go that. But I don't feel like it took that long, and it did add good content. So if every update was like the size and time of 1.19, I'd be really happy. But 1.20 felt like it took really long time with less content. I don't know. As long as they don't like completely destroy the game, I'll still play it. I'm just in my post-weekly dose of Minecraft phase where I just can't touch the game.
The only thing is, I looked up the dev team number from a few years ago. I don't have recent numbers, but it's in the hundreds. It just said for Minecraft, so we don't know the split. Like you said earlier, it could be they're focusing like hundreds of people towards the newer games, and then maybe like a small team of 20 or 30 who might not know. Yeah, towards the core game.
I think that's a mistake. Because you don't hear people talking about Minecraft Dungeons anymore. Like, again, that's not saying it's a bad game. Minecraft Dungeons is a fantastic game, actually. It is phenomenal. I love it. But nobody talks about it.
I feel like Minecraft had the same treatment. Like, it used to be a big thing in the past, or it was bigger in the past, but now it's pretty much forgotten. And Minecraft Earth just doesn't even exist anymore.
Like, the only Minecraft named thing that is still relevant is Minecraft itself.
Yeah.
And obviously, even that, Minecraft goes through phases where it's really popular, then where it's not popular, then it's really popular. And it's definitely a little bit on the downward right now, but it's Minecraft, so within a couple of years, it's going to be more popular again, because that's how it always goes. That's how it always goes, and I don't know, I just feel like all these spin-off games haven't helped. I feel like, if anything, they've either done nothing or hurt, I feel. Because they haven't helped, which sucks. Minecraft Dungeons, again, is a very quality game. I haven't played Legends, but I imagine it's a very quality game. They have some very good developers over there. But, I don't know.
It looks to be quite similar to Dungeons.
Does it? I mean...
Kind of.
I just haven't. It released during one of my phases where I just didn't care about Minecraft. I'm in one of those right now. I go through, like, long phases where I just don't care about Minecraft, then I have a month where I'm like, Minecraft is, like, the only thing I do, and then I just ignore it again for, like, centuries. I do that with a lot of these more relaxing, creative type games. It's like Sims, I do the same thing, where, like, I play it, like, heavily for, like, a week, then I don't touch it for, like, months. And Minecraft's, like, kind of the same way for me, where I go through phases where I'm really into it. And, obviously, no matter what they add, as long as they don't ruin the game, I'll still have those phases.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I really do appreciate about Minecraft is I really like... Minecraft is probably the game that has the most replay value that I've ever had, because while there is a set end for the game that you can reach to, it's more of like an optional thing. Like, you don't have to go to the end, you don't have to get the end credits, and you can actually, like, explore a ton of creativity. And there's, like, I mean, like the Minecraft trailer says, there's, like, endless things that you can do.
That trailer's so old. But see, like, sandbox and simulation games are cheating for that argument, though, because they're literally designed to be infinitely playable.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you're correct, but I think that's cheating to bring up. But again, but that's also the point of the game. The game is supposed to be infinitely replayable. So, like, if it wasn't replayable, that would be really, 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 really bad. Because you're right, it is. And again, I should clarify this. Minecraft is still one of my favorite games of all time. And I'll still, like, it's also, while I can complain about the updates all I want, first of all, it comes from a place of love. Second of all, at least it's getting updates. And no matter how much I can complain about the updates, at least it didn't go 7 years without an update, unlike looks at Geometry Dash. Again, I also love Geometry Dash. Like, literally, while Josh was waking up, I was actually playing Geometry Dash. I actually was. Like, I love those games, and it's worth noting, this is the same reason why I criticize Fire Emblem Three Houses a lot on YouTube. It definitely comes from a place of love. I don't hate Minecraft. I don't hate Geometry Dash. I don't hate Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's just, you know, when you love something so much, you sometimes focus on what it could do better instead of what's doing well. Which is why it's time to be positive. The blocks that they add in these new updates are so cool for building. Chiseled bookshelves are so cool. I don't remember anything else in the 1.20 update besides chiseled bookshelves and camels. But chiseled bookshelves are awesome. So, of course I remember them. They're awesome. I've been wanting something like that for 10 years. And snapshots are also a genius idea. Just saying. Releasing your weekly beta test for the next update is a genius thing to do. No matter how minuscule the snapshot is, like, if it's just if it's just bug fixes, no matter how minuscule it is, it's a genius move. That kind of falls into that marketing thing earlier of like, oh yeah, it's just genius. I remember back in like I remember back before they were built into the launcher, and they were so hard to get. So I didn't always get the snapshots. When I got a snapshot installed back in the 1.4 days, Christmas had come early. I remember this snapshot that I still have so many memories of these snapshots, not even the updates, but the snapshots. I remember the witch snapshot. That was a good one. Oh, that. That was a good one. That was a good one. The snapshot that added horses. That was big. The snapshot that added elytras. Oh, snapshots are part of the reason why this game. Building off of the infinite replayability, obviously sandbox games better be dang infinitely replayable, but the snapshots are part of that reason. Because if you're really into Minecraft, they bring you back every week. Which is great. It's genius. It's genius. And obviously, like, Minecraft just has a great soundtrack, obviously. They always do great music. I don't necessarily love the most recent music discs, mostly because they have a different feel, but the actual overall ambient music is always top-notch, even if I don't love all the music discs. Although, I will say, I have grown quite fond of Other Side, which I hated when I first heard it, but I've grown to actually really, really like it. Pigstep's still better. Pigstep is actually just great.
I don't know about you guys, but Disc 11, Disc 13, and Disc 5 are top 3.
I always forget about Disc 5, but 11 and 13... What is the best track in... What is the best music track in Minecraft?
Well, so... If we're talking about overworld tracks, personally, my favorite is... I really like Wet Hands.
I think that's my favorite too. I'm looking up. I think Wet Hands is mine as well. Enjoy this YouTube ad first, YouTube. Wet Hands.
What about you, Josh?
I think mine's Mice on Venus.
Mice on Venus?
Mice on Venus is mine.
I don't know my name.
I'll play it into the mic for you.
I know the Wet Hands one, because I just looked it up. It's not the best over Discord.
Yeah, I imagine.
I can get the gist though.
Everything's bugged.
Yeah.
No, Mice and Venus is easily my favorite. Although, we obviously can't discount Sweden. Or even title track Minecraft. We can't discount those two either. As those are also probably embedded in all of our childhoods. And I guess, no matter how much you can complain about Minecraft, Minecraft is so interwoven in so many people's lives. Like,
Minecraft has cemented.
Can you imagine what your life would be like now if you had never played Minecraft?
I mean, I don't even think because I think you're the one that introduced me to the game.
Minecraft is such an integral part of the Gen Z human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just think how different Gen Z would be if Minecraft never existed. Our entire generation was raised off of this game. This game had such an impact on this generation. And it's crazy to think that one single game had such an influence over so many people. People that don't play video games play Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one of those games that can elevate above the pack. No matter if you have phases where you're completely bored of it. Like, I cannot play Minecraft right now. I'd die of boredom. But just ask me again in a couple of months, then maybe I'll be spending 20 hours a day. It's just one of those games. It's one of those games. There are infinite possibilities. If you're able to sit down and focus, you can do so much.
20 hours is a lot of hours. In a day? You said 20 hours in a day?
Yeah.
That's 4 hours of sleep, 20 hours of Minecraft?
Whoa. No. 2 hours of sleep, 1 hour to eat, 1 hour in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And then the
I
rest.
guess. The rest Minecraft.
The rest.
Alright.
Now, you'd probably intersperse eating while playing, so it'd probably be actually... And you can just play Minecraft on your phone, so when you need to go to the bathroom, pull out the phone. So 4 hours of sleep, yeah. You're right.
I will say, one of the concerns that I have for the Minecraft movie is it being
don't even
live
mention the Minecraft movie. It sounds like it's gonna be live action. No, I don't want it. No, it doesn't exist.
No, I want to hear Seth's concern.
There's more than one.
Yeah, there's a lot, but my
That's an understatement.
Is with Minecraft has a very specific aesthetic with everything being made of blocks. So if they are going to do this, there's two ways that it can go. They're either going to completely get rid of that aesthetic, which is going to ruin it entirely, or they're going to do that aesthetic and it's going to look really creepy.
The problem is, it sounds like the movie at least has some live action. Now, we don't know the extent. We don't know if the whole movie's live action or if that's going to be like a framing device like the Lego movie. But there's at least some live action in this movie, which immediately makes me go, what? 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 You can't do a live action Minecraft movie. Why is this not? This should be an animated movie. There's no other way to do this movie right. It is also worth mentioning this movie's been in development for like 10 years now. So
yeah, video game movies have that reputation.
Now, obviously, just because a movie's been in development for 10 years doesn't mean it's gonna be bad. Like, I haven't seen, but Mad Max Fury Road is supposed to be incredible, and apparently it was in like development for like 10 years. So clearly, sometimes development hell leads to really good products, but this is also the Minecraft movie. I'm not convinced that 10 years is a good thing on this one. But, who knows? Maybe the 10 years will prove to be good once it comes out. But, at the same time, I think for our mental health, I say we forget that the Minecraft movie exists. Because I don't think it has any chance of being great. Could it be good? Yeah. But at best, I think it'll be like the Mario movie, where it's a fantastic Mario movie, but just a good movie. Because the Mario movie is a fantastic Mario movie and a good movie, but I wouldn't call it a great movie. I'd call it a good movie, a great Mario movie. And I think that Minecraft movie is looking to, at best, be a great Minecraft movie. But the problem is, like, how much story can you add without losing Minecraft's charm? Now, I think there should be more story elements in Minecraft myself. I would like a little bit more story-ish elements in Minecraft, but it's always about finding the right dosage. The Mario movie found the right dosage of story. It found the right dosage. And the Minecraft movie needs to find that amount. Because it also, the amount of story that you can put in the game Minecraft and the amount of story you can put in the movie Minecraft are also different. The movie needs more. The movie needs more. Now, it doesn't need... Now, obviously, story can take many different forms. But you also gotta remember this is gonna be a blockbuster. So, blockbusters are kind of expected to not play with experimental narratives. That's just kind of how it works. So obviously, the Minecraft movie is not going to have an experimental narrative, even though I think a more experimental type narrative, if they find a good one, could work for a Minecraft movie. They're not going to do that. It is going to be a point A to point B, linear-ish story, like a blockbuster movie. And it's about finding the right balance of Minecraft charm and focusing on the story.
This just popped in my head, but I think a wonderful concept for the movie is that the player died and forgot to set spawn. He has to find his way back home. Because I've done that so many times in Minecraft.
Oh my goodness, I did that with a respawn anchor.
Yeah.
I lost all the glowstone and lost my base.
It's an event. It is definitely a experience.
I actually kind of like that. Yeah. That's actually pretty good.
1,000 hours into your base.
All this stuff would despawn, though. Oh, I think the camera just got dog attacked.
Well, the stuff isn't the point. It's what you made. The attachment.
No, that's I actually like that. I actually like that. Is there actually a plot synopsis yet? Let me check.
I don't know.
I hear the Ender Dragon is going to be a part of it. So if the Ender Dragon is a part of it, that would mean that the end is going to be in it, which is also very likely meaning that since, I mean, if you know Minecraft, in order to get to the end, you have to go to the Nether. It's required.
That can't be true. That can't be true. There is no. Pedro Pascala's locked into play, Steve.
Is he actually locked in? I was
Apparently,
hearing stuff about
according to Google, he is. I don't know how much I believe that, but Google and IMDb
article?
both mention it.
Oh, I guess it was a joke when I heard it. I thought The Rock was playing.
No.
Steve.
Okay. Yeah. No. IMDb has Jason Momoa as Steve.
Oh.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Jason Momoa is for sure in the cast. He's for sure in the cast. But remember, anybody can technically edit IMDb. But let's assume that that's what he is.
Can you make your own IMDb?
Technically, yes.
I might do that.
Minecraft movie. Is there any plot synopsis? The movie was centered on a teenage girl and her group of friends as they set out to save their world from the Ender Dragon. Who? Is this actually real though? Is that like an actual synopsis?
Oh.
Hello, Brett.
Brett's here.
Oh, actually, yeah, that is the plot synopsis according to IMDb. Huh. Welcome, Brett. Gamer Family YouTube. Brett will be the guest star in the next video, but he'll be here for this one too because he's cool enough. Once you can see him, that is. Pog. Anyways, he probably has technical issues, so while he figures that out, theater. You know, what was going to be the main focus of this episode. But
why are you yelling at me, Alex?
Oh, you're able to hear.
I am here. It took forever. I don't know why. I hit join like a dozen times, and then it didn't do anything, and then joined. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been doing that for me
now
too.
let us see you. Even if you like do a background like Josh. If you do a background like Josh, you should do. What was the first one you did? I don't remember. Yeah.
You get to deal with a gray screen until I can get my computer up and running.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well, I guess I can put my phone up, but.
Oh, that's phone audio. It actually sounds surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Yes, no. I've got headphones on, so it's running through my headphone. That
would explain it, because the audio sounds pretty good. I was like, what? That's phone audio? No way. Do I sound that good when I'm on my phone? I know I don't. Yeah, I saw that head shake, and you're not wrong. Anyway, what is that text message?
Probably me saying I'm almost on.
No, it was actually my dad. I did see your almost on text. Anyways, theater, Seth. You've done theater for a long time now. Now, there's one thing that theater and Minecraft have in common.
You got with this.
I was the one who told you to register for theater. Back in 6th grade.
Yeah, that's fun.
I know, I was like, hey, Seth, you should register for theater. So, our lives are interwoven. I have guided you to your destiny. Okay, that's enough ego boosting for today. But yeah, no, you've done theater for so long now. Like, 9 years?
8th grade?
Seventh grade.
Yeah, that's true.
You started doing shows in 8th grade, but you technically started theater in 7th.
Yeah. So how long is that? 7th
9 years.
To 8th?
9 years. 2 middle school, 4 high school, 3 college, 9.
That's true.
Yep. I got them quick math. That's all I can do. I took Calc 1 and 2, but if you put like an integral in front of me and said solve it with a gun pointed at my head, I'd be like, just shoot me now. I can do derivatives.
Pilot voodoo. Ultraviolet voodoo, man.
I can still do derivatives.
What?
That's it. I can still do
Did you guys
algebra.
know ultraviolet voodoo?
What? Huh?
UV integral or minus integral V du. That's how you do a lot of them.
I don't understand what that means.
But Josh, can you solve a 3-variable matrix with 3 equations by hand?
Probably.
It's fun. See, one of my coworkers was taking college algebra. I was like, oh, this is something you're gonna have to do later in the semester, so I wrote it out. 3 systems of equations, 3 variables, and like I was at work, I didn't really have a good graphing calculator, so I did it by hand.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah.
Those are fun. I hate calculus. I love algebra though. I hate most of math, but I love algebra. Like while I wasn't cleaning theaters, while I was just not cleaning theaters, I was just solving these systems of equations. I was having a good time, and once I finished with all of them, I was able to check all my answers, and I got it right, and it felt so good. It felt so good to do it by hand, because I hadn't done that in 4 years.
Have you taken differential equations?
No. I'm not taking any more math classes. I'm done.
If you ever had to, that class is just all matrices. And it's not that bad once you understand the
Really?
rules. So if you know the rules, it's pretty alright. Except for there is a unit with vectors that is a drawaway. But then you can solve vectors with matrices. So then it's fine.
Anyways,
again.
Wow, that is not theater. Anyways, theater.
I can talk about math. I can't talk about theater.
To be honest, I haven't really heard much theater news besides the strikes, but those were
Those aren't
like
theater.
film.
Those aren't theater. Those are
Yeah.
film. Well, haven't you still been like acting in shows though?
Kind of. I've been
Well,
got to audition for the recent show because I thought that the internet auditions were on a different day. But I'm going to try to do tech. I've been going to see shows though.
Yeah, I know you. I know you've definitely been doing that.
Yeah.
And obviously you still act plenty. Like you're going to school for acting. You want to become a stage actor, not film actor, right?
I want to become a film actor primarily.
For some reason, I thought you wanted to become a stage actor instead. Did that change? Did
Well-
at one point you did want to be a stage actor though?
I think I wanted to be like. I think what I mainly
I'm
want to
thinking of
do is I
Beckett.
want to do voice. But I also want to. I might do a little bit of stage.
I was thinking Beckett. Beckett's the one that wants to focus on stage, not you. I was getting people mixed up. That's what it was. That's what it was. He's the one who didn't want to do film acting. That's right. Now I remember. Yeah, so obviously you've been seeing a bunch of shows that, like, even I'm like, I'm essentially done acting. Especially with Alex Point being well over, I'm like done acting for the most part. Unless my film people need me as an actor, then obviously I will, because that'll have like nothing for me to do. It'll be so short. It'll be like 4 minutes of me doing something. But there are a couple of shows that like I keep an eye out on. Is like if somebody's doing this show, I want to do it. So,
Yeah.
Sweeney Todd's obviously one of them because it's Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd's
Sweeney
amazing.
Todd.
Newsies is also up there. School Rock's up there. Jekyll and Hyde's up there. Because like that's the one role I can actually play competently is Jekyll and Hyde. such a fun role. There's more, but I can't remember them. So, Guys and Dolls, that's on there. It's funny. I've missed auditions for 3 out of those shows I just named. So I've been doing a pretty bad job. I missed Guys and Dolls, Newsies, and School Rock. Yeah, so that stung. That stung. And what was your favorite role that you've ever played in a show?
Toby. For sure. I loved Sweeney Todd. And
It's like the greatest.
Toby was
It's the greatest
sister.
musical ever made. So yeah. It's a perfect example to look at of creating a villain main character that you still like. Like if you ever want to write like a story that features the main character is a villain in himself, Sweeney Todd's what you look at. And really, the easiest way to do it is by making the antagonist even more evil. Just make it about evil people. And Sweeney Todd does. There's like 3 genuinely good people in Sweeney Todd, and that's it.
Yeah.
And one of them gets corrupted by the end.
Yeah.
So there's really only 2 genuinely good people in Sweeney Todd. Anthony and Joanna, they're really the only 2. And that's just what's so great about Sweeney Todd. Everyone sucks. Like, if it's a Reddit I am the asshole post, it's an everyone sucks here.
And the ensemble is also not better at all.
Oh, the ensemble's fantastic.
Funny.
It's a show where the ensemble's actually able to do something. So, like,
yeah,
it's such a great show.
The ensemble is morally bad, too, because they were there at the judge's party.
And the music's also so good. So good. The music's great. The music is the #1 selling point of Sweeney Todd. The plot's great. The characters are great. But the music's awesome. So, like, no, Sweeney... Book closed. Sweeney Todd's too cool. And Josh is dead. Rest in peace.
I'd say...
Sorry, I need to step away for a second.
Yeah, no worries. I figured.
Yeah, with Sweeney Todd, I also heard there was a scrapped version of Joanna, like the song, and it was supposed to be sung by the judge.
Well, that's not a
And it was
scrap version.
actually
That's just
probably
not
one
in the
of the-
school version.
Yeah,
So it's
it was
not
probably
scrapped.
one of the creepiest songs in the soundtrack.
Oh, I hate that song. Well, it's obviously very well written, but oh my goodness, it's so... Ugh. It's so yuck. This is about the judge wanting to marry his adopted daughter.
Sweeney Todd's very interesting with all... I can't even believe that there's a show that is able to...
Sweeney Todd could be a Fire Emblem plot. Change my mind. I'm not hearing any challenges, so we'll go with it. Yeah,
There's
Yep.
so many dark themes in Sweeney Todd, I never even thought that a show could mention that many dark stuff.
Oh, you haven't read, what's it called? You clearly haven't read Really Really. It's a play? Yeah. You should give that a read. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't want to talk about its plot on camera. For reasons. I don't want to be demonetized. Great show,
Yeah,
but I'm not gonna give a plot synopsis. On
yeah,
here,
I think for Sweeney...
Sweeney Todd you can give a plot synopsis. It's about a guy that kills people and puts them in pies. Really,
Yeah.
I'm not giving a plot synopsis for it. All I'll say is, that's a lot of sexual assault in one show. And obviously the name also factors in is what actually happened, because you hear so many different points of view, and it's definitely it's a phenomenal show. It's a phenomenal show. Oh. Yeah. Anyways. Do I have anything else I really want to add on theater? I mean, Brett, you've been doing theater for a while. Well, you did theater for a while.
Yeah.
You have anything you want to add?
No, you guys did it pretty good there. And honestly, I was listening to what you guys were saying, but I think I just spent the last 5 minutes looking through settings to try and like dim my background and couldn't find it anywhere.
It looks fine on my end.
Well, I was gonna try and like blur it out so you only see me.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how to do that.
There's like no settings. Because I googled it, and it was like, oh, go to your settings in the video, and it's supposed to be right there. No, there's nothing right there, so... Either I've got a problem, or Google has a problem, so...
I think it looks fine. You're pretty viewable. It helps that you're like wearing all gray so you stick out. Headphones also help. The assassin, like, he's like doing a low angle on himself, so he's kind of like giving this like spooky atmosphere. Then there's me. Green. I'm green, baba dee
Wow,
baba ba
you are
baba dee
not
baba da.
colorblind. Good job.
Yeah, unlike a lot of people that I have on this channel that are colorblind. There's a lot of them. The stat is 1 in every 4 people, and let's see how many people are on this Discord. I forgot, it's hard to do that on your phone because they changed the damn UI to be bad. I guess there's actually enough people on here that technically, mathematically, I think there should actually be more colorblind. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Mathematically, there should actually be. Is it 1 in 4 or 1 in 8 people that's colorblind? Men. That's colorblind. And I guess it should only be counting men. So there's 11. There's 11 men on here. I actually think the ratio is pretty correct, because I think it is 1 in 4, which means the next person that I add onto here should theoretically be colorblind. It's a canon event. Yeah, the next person on here will be colorblind. Anyways, asking me the end of, and the camera's moving. Hallway shot.
Correct.
Look at that.
I got a new computer and I love it, but the power source in the back of the computer.
Yeah. A lot of computers are like that.
Brett, did you freeze?
And he's dead. Well, YouTube, there's 2 of us that are dead now.
So that's what that was.
Oh, it's loading. Oh, he's alive. And anyways, YouTube, that's gonna be the end of this one. Next time we will have more from Brett. Yeah! Because I definitely have stuff I want to ask him about. Oh yeah.
That is not scary and foreshadowing of anything. So.
Wow, your picture's so lagged. We'll deal with that in a second. Yeah.